are people running to?
Hi.
I'm fine. Morning, class.
Good morning, Madam.
I'm fine. We are supposed to do the participles because yesterday our class was interfered, the first lesson, and that was what we were supposed to cover. So you take the class texts, New Horizon, water in the morning. Huh? Cold water in the morning. What for? Cold water. Some of you will discover that cold water is not healthy. Yeah, so a very quick one. You must be ready now, okay? Yeah, so we've learned verbs from the variety of verb tense, right?
Yes.
Which tenses? Did you look at that at from which form? Past participle.
Past perfect.
You looked at past, the continuous form and the progressive, which is progressive and something that is already done, we looked at it as what? When something is already done, we looked at it as, and it was under aspect, not tense. Continuous and what? And? You have continuous or progressive form of a verb, which is ing. Then we have ed or other, which is what? Perfective, right? So that the aspects that you learned were the perfective and continuous aspect, whereby the perfective, most of them come with ed, or others have other forms, depending on whether it is present perfective, past perfective. And then after that, you must have looked at the phrasal verbs, which is form 3. Then you also must have looked at what? The verb phrases and the what else? Because verb has a lot. Because we have phrase, we have mod auxiliaries, and you looked at mod auxiliaries and at form 2. Mod auxiliary verbs, and you also looked at another. Which one was that? Verb to do, verb to have, and verb to be. What were those? Yes? Statements. They were? When you are learning verb to do, various forms, verb to be, various forms, and verb to have, what were those? Yes? No one recalls that you learned primary auxiliary verbs. Oh, I hope you remember the mod auxiliary verbs. They are tested a lot. Which are these? Could, should, would, must,
may,
uh-huh,
might,
uh-huh,
dare,
dare, ought, must you've mentioned that?
yes,
Yeah, and you also know how they are used because they are tested based on the usage. Then I hope you are also practicing a lot on phrasal verbs. Though they were tested last year 3 marks, I don't know, they might bring in another way because they normally change. If they bring this year where you replace a phrasal verb, another year they might bring a phrasal verb and they have you to have one word. So this year it was about, I think it was a word, then you are supposed to fill in a phrasal verb. So they might change the same. We also did the intransitive and transitive verbs. You remember? What are transitive verbs? Yes? Form 3. What did we say transitive verbs are? You people don't hold these things. You have to go back to the text or the exercise book. What are transitive verbs? Yes? Verbs that require an object. Whereas there are those which play part in both, and there are those which don't need an object. Like when you talk about swim, you don't have to give an object. Appear, grow, you don't have to need an object. But there are those you need an object when you talk about them. Then there are those which can be in both places. They can be transitive and intransitive. Then you learned infinitives, whereby you learned bare infinitive, then you learned the other forms of infinitives. So in form 4 now we are doing participle. And when we talk about a participle, we are just talking about the verb that takes various forms of tenses. Yeah? So we have a way in which a verb, as you've learned even from Form 1, you see those verbs taking various tenses. So, of course, it is formed from a verb, but then you have to add a specific tense. So let's write that as our topic, participle. Among the past. In your book, it's topic. Sixty-two. 52. Yeah, participle phrases, page 52. Now let's read just a little bit there so that you understand. You know, when we start writing without looking at the text, some people will not maybe understand exactly what we are talking about. So let's read on page 52 below.
You already know that a phrase forms part of a sentence and that there are various types of phrases. Phrases are classified according to their constituent parts. A participle is a word formed from a verb and used with a verb phrase. For example, the baby was crying loudly. It may also be used as an adjective. For example, the crying baby woke us up. The present participle is formed by adding the suffix ing to the verb. The past participle is formed by adding ed, d, t, n, or en to the verb. While in a few cases, the vowel in the verb changes. Example, present participle, worrying, waving, diving. Past participle, walked, sold, wept, blown, eaten. Note that some past participle forms have variant forms, such as mourn and mourn. A participle phrase is a group of words that qualifies a noun or pronoun in a sentence. Such a phrase begins with the present of past participle and functions as an adjective. Examples: the students carrying the largest parcel missed the last step. The student tired from the heavy work sat down to rest.
Okay, let's stop there and go back to our understanding. So as I've told you, for us to form a participle, we have to work on tense. And we agreed as we began the lesson that we have the past tense and present tense. So those two are the ones we operate with for us to participle. Therefore, we create a present participle by adding ing. I hope you learned that at present tense, right? Yeah. But now we are saying that as we form those participles, they are not just going to act as, they are not just going to act as verbs, but they and the tense form of it. Then we say we have two forms of participles. We have two forms of participles. Roman 1, present participle, and then past participle. We have two ways in which we write this word. So, of course, we have agreed with present tense, we add ing on the verb, but here we add edd, t, n, or en on the verb. So we start with the present participle so that we have details and also examples of sentences. Present participle. And under present participle, already as you've read, you've been told that it is formed when you take ing and add on the verb. So we just rewrite that, formed by adding ing on a verb. What else have we said about it? While reading, you said something about it on function role.
It may also be used as an adjective.
Yeah, thank you. It can also serve as an adjective to describe a noun. It can also serve as an adjective to describe a noun. So, for example, we have said let's just create such a sentence. Sleeping children hate noise. So we have children there as a noun, and we want to know which children. So we describe them as sleeping ones. So this is serving as an adjective, but it is a verb. And because it has ing, we call it a participle. Now in an exam, they would just create a sentence and then tell you to start with sleeping. Sleeping children hate noise. Can we create more sentences with participle in present, serving as adjectives? At least 3. Yes. Yes. remember it must have ing. It must be a verb ending with ing. And it is describing a noun which is ahead of it. Yes. Where is the noun? The noun. The noun praying is describing. You realize that it should have a noun after. You said praying loudly is what? A crime. So here you've just used it as a verb. But for us to have used it as an adjective, because this one, of course, it is a participle as it is. But in this case, it's just serving as a verb. But then for it to act as an adjective, there must be something here. Diving people. Diving people are usually many. Men. Okay, diving people are usually men. That's what she's told us. So, which means people who dive are men. Is a noun, diving is a verb, but it's acting as a participle at the same point as an adjective. Yes. Sweeping workers were fired, yes. So they are workers, but their role is to sweep. And sweeping is present, therefore a present participle serving as an adjective. I saw some other hands, yeah. The crying baby was sick. So you see, crying is supposed to be a verb, but at that point it's not actually acting, but it's giving us a definition of the baby. So which baby? The crying one. So the crying baby was sick. The last one, I saw more hands, so yeah. Yeah, joking students will fail. Okay, so those are examples we've gone through. And of course it is clear, even in our text, we've been given examples there. And we'll go through later to see more. Now I want us to move to the, apart from that function, do we have another? Yeah, let's say that the present participle also acts as, the present participle also acts as a verb phrase. It also acts as a verb phrase. I think you've learned about verb phrase, noun phrase, which other? Apart from noun phrase and verb phrase, which other did you learn? Adjectival phrase, adverbial phrase, yeah. So verb phrases in sentences, when they come together, then they become a verb phrase. An example? Let's say the politicians were meeting. No, that one becomes past. Are meeting. The politicians are meeting before deciding about 2027 campaigns. The politicians are meeting before deciding on the 2027 campaigns. So where is that present participle? Yes? In that sentence, where is it?
Meeting.
Just meeting. Are meeting. So underline that. And you can see that it's a verb phrase. So it is a present participle, at the same time it's a verb phrase. Another example, the sun is shining brightly now. The sun is shining brightly now. Where is the participle?
Is shining.
Is shining. Good. Let's have examples again from our class. examples? Yeah.
The student studying hard nowadays.
Yeah, the students are studying hard nowadays. You are not agreeing with that? Yeah. The students are studying hard nowadays. So where's the participle? Are studying. Any other example someone wants to give? Yes. The singer is singing beautifully. So the participle is singing. Is singing. The last example, yeah. Yeah, the lion is roaring angrily. Okay, so those are enough examples. We can move to the past participle. But that part of adjective is what I've seen tasted a lot. They taste the adjective part a lot than the other one. So the past participle, we go to that so that we can have examples, and in case we can share various forms, we also check on that. Of course, like 2023, they tested on that, I believe. So past participles, we have agreed that they are formed by adding what? Ed, d, t, n, and en on the verb. So it varies depending on the kind of verb, whether it's regular or irregular. I think you learned that very well in Form 1. Then we can have that. Like, what are irregular verbs? Examples? Examples of irregular verbs? Yes? Yeah? Examples of irregular verbs. The ones which don't form with ed or d. Which ones? Yeah? Blow. Yeah. Yes? Yeah?
Cut.
Yeah, cut. Any other?
Eat.
Eat. Put.
Sing.
See.
Sing.
Sing. Yeah. We have variety. So all of that, they take this. These forms. Okay. So let's maybe for that case now we just get to give some example. Like fall will become fall will become fair. Fallen. Okay. Catch. Caught. Swim. Swam. Beat. Beaten, or which other? He was beaten. Yeah, that will be the case. Fly. Flew. Okay. Break. Yeah, it can be broke, or if it is the other form, it is broken. The perfective form. Yeah. So, do you believe that they can also act as adjectives? Past participle. They can, right? Yeah, the broken handle will be meant. The fallen hero was known by everyone. Yeah, so let's say they can also serve as adjectives. They can also serve as adjectives. Example. The fallen hero was very popular in the 90s. The fallen hero was very popular in the 90s. The broken pot must be thrown away. The broken pot must be thrown away. He licked his cracked lips. He licked his cracked lips. So we have cracked, we have fallen, we have broken. All of those are past participles, and they have served as adjectives. Yes? Are some people confused? Or are we okay? Okay. Can we give some examples of adjectives in past form within sentences? So that I'm sure you've understood. Yes? Past participle as adjectives. I need sentences from class. Yes. So which one are we looking at? You are creating a verb phrase. It will be suitable for the verb phrase because was beaten. But now we don't have a noun.
Snake was thrown away.
The beaten snake was thrown away. Or the stoned snake was thrown away. Stoned snake. Any other example? At the back I saw a hand. Yes? One example from the entire class. Yeah. Yeah, the frightened girl was killed. Killed. Aliuawa. Kwa nini unataka akufe? The frightened girl was killed. I would rather have the frightened girl was saved than killed. The playing, though that one now falls under present participle instead of past. Yeah, because playing team is present, right? It's not past. It's not ed, en, t, or n. Yes. The printed notes were distributed. Okay, so we give the second function. So let's say also the past participle can also serve as verb phrase. It can also serve as verb phrase. And your example, you can now repeat it. You gave us a good example that time. Yeah, she was beaten to death. So was beaten becomes the verb phrase. The prefect has rung the bell. The driver has left the venue. Any other two for that? 1, 2 sentences, then we call it a day. And you have a lot of assignments over here. which we need to purpose to mark during the evening lesson. We have 2 lessons. We have one after, I don't know, lunch, then another as remedial. I don't know. Yeah? But you told me Friday. A lot of exercises. Exercise 1 up to 5. But that's not a lot, is it? It's not a lot. 2 examples, please. You need break, yeah.
The woman left the child.
You need 2 words together for it to be a verb phrase. Maybe has left or was left with. Yes? Yeah, the pilot has landed the plane. Another one, the last one. I saw a hand here. A phrasal verb must have 2 words, were dash or has dash, not just 1 word. So one last example. Yeah, the teacher has given out assignments. All right. So that lesson, please, we start with assignment, then we mark. I don't know whether we'll manage to do that within that, but it's a lot of time. Yeah, so have a nice tea. Wait. Na hii ingine ni? Oh, ni SAP.